Hi dear friends, in this lesson we will practice guessing real and unreal words of the English language at Duolingo English test, specifically for the task called Read and Select. So the essence is very simple. If I consider this word, for instance poetic in this case, to be a real English word, I click yes. If for some reason I think that this word, this letter combination does not exist, for instance it could be here not poetic but poeti cop, OP, something like that, I click no, and I must do it within 5 seconds for each word while it appears on the screen. If I don't do it within 5 seconds, it is counted as a mistake. So we should not sleep. This task is mega important. It's just paramount for your success, and at the same time I think that it's the least mentally engaging task. There is no cognitive or intellectual activity here. You either know this word that it exists or you don't. Never make any guesses or something that this suffix or ending can be attached to this base or this root. This system will let you down. We have checked it hundreds of times with my students. Now we will do, I hope, about 20 or 30 such words. All of them are taken from real Duolingos, my friend. Real, it's very precious. It's even unreal letter combinations are borrowed from the screen from the real Duolingo test. So you are working with the real material. If you need some serious professional assistance for your Duolingo test preparation, please drop me a line. I always place my contact details on the screen and in the description to the video. I will help you as a tutor. Okay, my friends, so yeah, one more aspect is that on this valuable resource today I have about 20-25 words left. So any moment our session may be over, but it's not a big deal. I think that in 20, 25 or 30 words you will be able to foretell your preliminary level of readiness for this task. Try please to figure out faster than I do whether it exists or not. If you are successful at that, congratulations. You may think about 120 or more for your read and select, or 130 or more. If you have a lot of mistakes, then it's a problem. It will be not more than 90 or 80. Okay, my friends, so let's go on. This was our warm-up, poetic. I know that this word exists, so I click yes. I check. Here is a button. It's green. Okay, everything is correct. If it were incorrect, it would be red. Okay, so let's go on. Seat, of course, like a seat at the theater. Some device or facility on which we sit. Yes, of course. Here's a combination of very simple words and very sophisticated, because I didn't filter according to the level of difficulty. So, enteric. I can maybe make a mistake here, but I haven't met such word. Interior and everything related to interior, inter means inside, yeah, but enteric, I didn't. Yes, it's correct, yes. There is no enteric. Again, you see, this is an instance of, if you know inter like root, don't think that enteric may necessarily arise from this word. Retivestive, no, just no guesses. I don't know such a combination. Yes. Disturbance, of course, when we bother somebody, or vex or molest. So the act of disturbance, or the phenomenon of this, when somebody is irritated, disturbance. Please be attentive to letters. Disturbance. Okay. No. Yes. Retain. Yeah, a verb. To retain, for example, in your mind, in your memory, to keep some information and not to lose it. To retain it, like to remember and keep. Yes, of course. Resilor. I don't know such a word, so I click no. Posaget, posaged, no. skillful, of course. If somebody has some skills, like they're masters of doing something, so skillful is an adjective, means full of skill. Yes, so like a high level pianist or something like that, skillful. Yeah, you know, we must have here double L, remember this please. Menthol, yes, menthol, like chewing gum, you know, with that flavor of oh my god, I forgot that herb, the name of the herb. I will remember and tell you. I think you have, you know, you have recalled. Yes, menthol. Okay, anyway, it exists, this aroma. I'm not a great specialist in those herbs. Other when, no. Dundle. I haven't met such a word. Bundle, yeah, but dundle, no. So let's try. Okay, luckily we have guessed. Prizes, of course, the plural of prize, some award. So prizes means many awards, of course. Yeah, they may present you with the S like in the plural, or in the third form, in the third person singular, like goes. Yes, they may do so, remember this. Don't be surprised. Suitably, yeah, it's an adverb. To suit, suitable, suitably, like in a suitable manner, means when something is convenient for me or something matches my expectations or something like that, suitably. Yes. Debt, a noun. When you owe money to somebody or some organization, it's you have a debt. Yes, debt, of course. Crisp, yeah, it's an adjective usually. Such harsh and husky, like crisp, a sound of, for example, of chips, you know, when they break or something like that, and when you chew them, crisp. Or crisp weather, when it's fresh and strong, like frost with some bite. So a lot of meanings. Crisp. Yes. Boxing, of course, you understand that this is a sport of boxing, or the process of putting something into boxes. Boxing. Brought it. No, I don't know such a word. You see, I don't know. I don't even think, speculate, meditate here. No, I don't know, and that's why I don't even think about it. Okay, run, say run, the same. I don't even want to look into it attentively because I know that it doesn't exist. Complaint, of course, it's a noun formed from the verb to complain, like to be unhappy about something and to tell about it to somebody, to complain. So complaint is your noun. Yes. Yeah. OMED. No, I don't know such a word. Sooner or later the session will finish. Holds. No. You understand that holds, without you we have such a word, holds. But with you there is no such a word. Reference, of course, like reference books, to refer to something, and a process or an instance of reference, referring to something, to some source of information, for example, when you are writing your scientific paper. So reference, be very careful, reference, because they may change one letter and trick you into a mistake. Interner, no. Again, intern we have, but interner. Bumper, of course, you understand, to bump into something or somebody, like to hit. And bumper, this is a very important spare part or part of the body of the car. Bumper, front bumper, rear bumper. So of course, bumper, yes. Sightseeing, of course, this is gerund, the process of seeing some landmark or interesting places in some area when you visit it. To go sightseeing, yeah. Remember, please, I-G-H-T and double E. Yeah, sightseeing, yes. copper, yeah, a chemical element like a metal, copper, or sometimes it's called brass if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, copper, double P, yes, of course. Mercy, yeah, an interesting noun. When we have mercy from somebody, it means that they are like lenient on us, they are kind to us, they don't want to punish us, for example, when they must. So they're merciful, they're kind and humane. Mercy, yeah, of course. Okay, my friends, let's do one or two more if we can. Tourist, good old tourist, of course, a person who visits some new area. Yes, oh, you remember, tourist, of course. And the last one for today, abusive, yes, a verb to abuse means to behave badly towards somebody, to insult and something like that. So abusive behavior, an adjective with suffix -ive, yes, abusive, yeah. So my friends, you know, we have had a couple of interesting words here, not too rare or interesting, but anyway. So how about your success? If you have done all of them correctly, I tell you, you will get more than 120 for this task. I cannot say about the whole Duolingo because it's impossible in this case. But if you have had like 6 or 7 mistakes or more, it means that you must do something, because your point for this, your score will be like 90 or 80 or even less, depending on your mistakes. Again, let me remind you, if you need help, write to me. I constantly help students as a tutor online. We work via Google Meet or Microsoft Teams, so there are a lot of those platforms, very convenient, allowing for the screen share, which is invaluable in this case, and you know, our achievements sometimes are really outstanding. Okay, my friends, wish you success and see you in our next lesson.